All right, after we have seen the president of our 15th president of our country, that is Draupadi Murmu, has taken oath and taken over the office, we have now the opposition leader, Jairam Ramesh, writing a letter, and in this letter that has been submitted to the Honorable Chairman of Rajya Sabha by the opposition party leaders, they now mention about the fact as to how during the swearing-in ceremony of the Honorable President, Mallikarjun Kharge, leader of the opposition, was made to sit in a seat not commensurating with the position that he holds. My colleague Madhav also now joins us on this broadcast. So Madhav, there seems to be an issue with the opposition leaders as far as the seating arrangement given to Mallikarjun Kharge is concerned.
Well, yes, this is the objection that they are raising, and in fact, they have said so in as many words. And it is not just the Congress, but other opposition parties that have also signed this particular letter, as Jairam Ramesh has tweeted. And this says that the seating that was given is not commensurate to the order of precedence, where the LoP should have clearly been given better seating. That's the claim coming in from the opposition parties, and one will have to see now how the government responds to this, because clearly in the order of precedence, leader of opposition who holds the cabinet rank is very much at the forefront of it, and what really is the exact version of the government as to why, whether there was a departure, and if so, why the government will have to come out and now explain its position. Remains to be seen what they have to say on this particular aspect is concerned, but the opposition certainly taking up this particular matter, and of course is going to be protesting on it as well.
All right, so as my colleague Madhav has been stating, we are still awaiting an official version coming in from the government on this issue, because remember, these are opposition leaders, including the TMC, that are now raising the issue of the seating arrangement given to the leader of the opposition in the House, that is Mallikarjun Kharge. They go on to state how they were writing to express their shock and protest at this deliberate disrespect shown, they say, to a very senior leader, violating the warrant of precedence and not in accordance with the protocols and courtesies due to him. That's Jairam Ramesh. That was one of the leaders who have tweeted out this image and this letter that has now been issued to the Honorable Chairman of Rajya Sabha, he says, and it has been undersigned by several of the opposition leaders who have now written stating that this was a disrespect shown to the leader of the opposition, who is also a senior leader. My colleague Swati also now joins us live from the newsroom. Yes, Swati.
Yes, well, Richa, this is Jairam Ramesh's tweet in which he's saying that this letter was submitted to the Honorable Chairman Rajya Sabha by all the opposition parties. It also includes netas from the TMC, and this is a letter here which says, Honorable Chairman Rajya Sabha, today at the swearing-in ceremony of the Honorable President Shri Mallikarjun Kharge, the leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, was made to sit in a seat not commensurate with the position he holds. We are writing to express our shock and protest at this deliberate disrespect shown to a very senior leader, violating the warrant of precedence and not in accordance with protocol courtesies due to him. Here is Jairam Ramesh's name, his signature, and these are signatures of other MPs, other netas of the opposition parties. Their allegation is that Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge was disrespected.
All right, so as my colleague Swati has been reading out from that particular letter, this is the Congress leader Jairam Ramesh tweeting out and saying as to how a letter has been submitted to the Honorable Chairman. And Swati, we are still awaiting an official version coming in from the government of what clarification will they issue on the matter, because they are showing this as a disrespect to be given to a senior leader for them, and also the leader of the opposition as far as the swearing-in ceremony of the president is concerned.
Well, yes, absolutely. We are waiting for a reaction from the government. But as far as Jairam Ramesh and other leaders who have signed this particular letter sent to the chairman of the Rajya Sabha have alleged that this is a deliberate attempt. They are alleging that this did not just happen, but it was done deliberately to disrespect Mallikarjun Kharge. They are expressing their shock and protest. Now, Mr. Jairam Ramesh in the letter also says that this, in fact, is a violation the warrant of precedence, and this is also not in accordance with the protocol courtesies that should have been given to Mallikarjun Kharge, given the fact that he's a senior leader and also, of course, the leader of opposition in the Rajya Sabha. So the allegation of all these netas who signed on the letter is that this was a deliberate attempt to humiliate, to insult, disrespect Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge.
Absolutely, and we are still waiting for that official version coming in, and once again reading out that tweet coming in from the Congress leader Jairam Ramesh, who has now stated that he has sent this letter and submitted to the Honorable Chairperson of the Rajya Sabha by all opposition parties, including the TMC, just now, and stating how the seating row given during Draupadi Murmu's oath-taking ceremony was a deliberate disrespect to a senior leader, they say. And meanwhile, we are still awaiting that official version to come in from the government themselves. Once again, the opposition trying to rake up an issue where they are stating that this is a disrespect given out to a senior leader, and the leader of the opposition, which they say are expressing of a shock and protest at the deliberate disrespect, they say, shown to a very senior leader, violating the warrant of precedence and not in accordance with the protocol courtesies due to him, Prithvi.
Yes, absolutely. So this is an ongoing controversy now. Well, this is a letter that has now been written by the opposition, and it details how the opposition is miffed at the fact that proper seating arrangements were not made for the ceremony of the swearing-in ceremony of the Hon'ble President Shri Mallikarjun Kharge. This letter states that the leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha was made to sit in a seat not commensurate with the position he holds. Now, remember, parallelly, viewers, we've been seeing the kind of ruckus that has been created day in and out while the ongoing monsoon session has not seen any business transact, no concrete debates that have been that the House has seen so far, given that the opposition is up in arms with the ruling government, and it says that they're not going to stop voicing their opinion till something is done about the price hike and the GST price hike in that sense. But now another controversy coming to light with this kind of a intentional disrespect charge being made by the opposition. So this is a letter that has been written by Jairam Ramesh to the Honorable Chairman of Rajya Sabha. It's dated today itself. Times Now has accessed this letter, the first channel to break down details of this very letter that has now been written by the opposition. And it also says, as per the tweet that has been put out by Jairam Ramesh, that he sent this letter to the Honorable Chairman Rajya Sabha, signed by all opposition parties, including the TMC, just now, that the seating row at Murmu oath ceremony was a deliberate disrespect to a senior Congress leader. So this is exactly what the letter states. It also says that we're writing to express our shock and protest at this deliberate disrespect shown to a very senior leader, violating the warrant of precedence and not in accordance with protocol courtesies due to him. That's the letter we're talking about. It has been signed by Jairam Ramesh, has the signatures of several other opposition leaders, and Jairam Ramesh now also expressing that the TMC is also on board as far as this protest is concerned. Honorable Chairman to Rajya Sabha is what this letter is now written to, and it very, very clearly says that during the swearing-in ceremony of the Honorable President, Shri Mallikarjun Kharge, who's the leader of the opposition in Rajya Sabha, was made to sit in a seat not commensurate with the position he holds. So opposition now once again raking up yet another issue and has written to the Honorable Chairman of Rajya Sabha protesting against that very move. Now, we've been seeing the kind of showdown that has been going on between the opposition and the ruling BJP inside the parliament premises. They've been staging protests outside as well. And we have Nasir Hussain, Congress MP, joining us on the phone line for the moment. Mr. Hussain, what would you say? We've just read out the contents of what Jairam Ramesh has written to the chairman of Rajya Sabha, saying that, Mallikarjun Kharge was not given the appropriate seat for the ceremony today, the oath-taking ceremony of the president. What would you say, sir?
See, it's very clear there's a blatant violation of the protocol that has to be ensured in the government functions. Here you have people, those are not ministers, who are sitting in the front row. You have people, those who are not in the protocol list, who are sitting in the front row. Congress Chief Minister is asked to sit behind. BJP Chief Minister is asked to sit in the first row. And LoP, who is the official LoP leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, who was also earlier a floor leader in LoK Sabha, he was asked to sit somewhere in the end near the door, near the entrance of the hall. And then all others who are not in the protocol list were asked to stay in the front line, sit in the front line. And also, our leader, Congress floor leader in Rajya Sabha was asked to sit somewhere in the fourth list. See, this is belittling the officers, constitutional officers that are there, that are there and that have been there for long time. When Congress party was in power, Congress party never behaved this way or never belittled the officers that the people held inside the parliament. So I think this is something had to be highlighted. So we have written it to the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, highlighting the same.
Okay, but you're making a very serious charge, Mr. Hussain. You're saying it's not just Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge who was perhaps not made to sit where he should have been given a seat, but several other chief ministers as well and several others from the Congress who were perhaps made to sit on the wrong seat.
Yeah, wrong seat. And then chief ministers of BJP ruled states and some former leaders or former ministers who are not ministers now, they are made to sit in the front row. You yourself can get the pictures and you can identify who are there and who are not in the front row, and you can see how Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, one of the tallest leaders, and more important, he has a protocol. He is the leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha. He's been asked to sit in the last chair near the entrance of the hall.
Okay, so that's what the Congress is stating at the moment. Thank you, Mr. Hussain, for speaking to us here on Times Now. We're yet to pick up a BJP reaction on our channel, but yes, we have a reaction coming in from Union Minister Piyush Goyal. Listen in.
समस्याओं के बावजूद भी हमारी महंगाई 7% के आसपास, जो विदेशों के निस्बत बहुत कम, क्योंकि सरकार, केंद्र सरकार ने, हमारी कई राज्य सरकारों ने बहुत प्रभावी रूप से महंगाई को रोका। जबकि जिन राज्यों में विपक्ष की सरकारें हैं, उन्होंने तो आज तक पेट्रोल डीजल तक के टैक्स को, जीएसटी के वैट को कम नहीं किया। जीएसटी का विषय हर बार उठाते हैं, उसमें भी पूरी तरीके से आप सबके सामने, देश की जनता के सामने स्पष्ट साबित हो गया कि वो यूनानिमस डिसीजन था, जीएसटी काउंसिल का था, केंद्र सरकार का नहीं था। उसमें कांग्रेस के भी सरकारें हैं, ग्रुप ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स में भी और पूरे काउंसिल में। वहाँ तो कांग्रेस की सरकारों ने, आम आदमी के दो सरकारें हैं, किसी ने अपोज नहीं किया। तो एक प्रकार से पूरी तरीके से विपक्ष महंगाई की डिबेट से, महंगाई की चर्चा से विपक्ष भाग रही है। विपक्ष डर रही है कि उनका पर्दाफाश होगा। और मैं जिम्मेदारी के साथ कहता हूँ कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में केंद्र सरकार और हमारे भाजपा एनडीए की राज्य सरकारों ने जिस प्रभावी ढंग से महंगाई के सामने काम किया है, आज पूरे देश में संतुलन में रखने में हम सफल हुए। और कांग्रेस की जहाँ सरकारें हैं, जहाँ विपक्ष की तृणमूल कांग्रेस की पश्चिम बंगाल हो, तेलंगाना में केसीआर की सरकार हो, आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार हो, ये पूरी तरीके से फेल हुआ है देश की समस्याओं को और जनता की आशा पे।